You are paying premium prices for liquid gold, but 75% of supermarket extra virgin olive oil is a complete lie. To cut costs, producers dilute real olive oil with cheaper oils like soybean or sunflower, leaving you paying premium prices for rancid counterfeits. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is a scientifically documented failure of our modern global food supply. For centuries, olive oil was a sacred culinary cornerstone, prized for its robust polyphenols and complex peppery finish. Today, it has been reduced to a highly manipulated commodity. To elevate your cooking and understand how to source a genuinely superior ingredient, we must systematically dissect the failures lining our grocery shelves. For mass-market imported extra virgin, the deception begins at an industrial scale, hiding behind vague geographical branding. A widely circulated, rigorous laboratory study conducted jointly by the UC Davis Olive Centre and the Australian Oils Research Laboratory pulled back the curtain on this industry. Researchers systematically tested 134 distinct samples. These were not obscure brands. They analysed 8 high-volume imported olive oil brands sold directly in standard California supermarkets. The empirical results were staggering. The UC Davis study revealed that nearly 75% of top-selling imported extra virgin olive oils fundamentally failed to meet international extra virgin standards, EVOO standard pass rate. The chemical and sensory analysis was definitive. The researchers stated plainly, nearly 75% of top-selling imported extra virgin olive oils failed international extra virgin standards. UC Davis Laboratory. This systemic failure proves that imported origin labels alone do not guarantee a better product. To understand why these oils fail, we must define the absolute standard of culinary superiority. To officially qualify as extra virgin, oils must meet precise, unforgiving criteria established by the International Olive Council, commonly known as the IOC, alongside the USDA. The baseline for greatness is exactly zero. Zero sensory defects. There can be no fustiness from anaerobic fermentation and absolutely no rancidity. Yet, consumer watchdog sites like worstbrands.com explicitly list Mezzetta as a brand to avoid. Watchdogs flag them for alleged dilution and the use of inferior olives, resulting in a direct failure to meet strict EVVOO standards. Quality degradation. When inferior, bruised olives are pressed, the resulting oil inherently carries the chemical flaws of the oxidized fruit. You cannot achieve culinary excellence when starting from a foundation of compromised ingredients. In the broader consumer market, a fake olive oil is generally defined by 2 distinct deceptive practices. The first is the outright mislabeling of lower-grade, heavily processed olive oils as premium extra virgin. The second and more insidious practice is physical dilution with cheaper, highly refined oils, such as soybean or sunflower oil. Safeway is another brand explicitly flagged by worstbrands.com to avoid, falling under these widespread allegations of failing standards. Diluting premium oil with an industrial soybean oil destroys the complex molecular structure that makes true olive oil so highly sought after. Pure EVVO versus soybean dilution. This chemical adulteration actively masks the authentic grassy notes and peppery throat catch with a greasy, entirely neutral flavor profile. It is an economic equation designed entirely to extract maximum profit at the direct expense of sensory quality. However, the exact mechanism of these supermarket failures is frequently misunderstood by the public. Despite popular internet claims regarding mass adulteration, the North American Olive Oil Association, aboutoliveoil.org, clarified a vital scientific detail about the famous UC Davis report. The NAOOA stated on the record, in fact,
The UC Davis Olive Center report did not find any adulteration or cutting of olive oils with either seed or vegetable oils. Instead, the documented failures were primarily based on profound sensory and chemical defects. Brands like Filippo Berio, which are also flagged by consumer watchdogs as brands to avoid, frequently fail due to advanced chemical rancidity. Oxidation process. Oxygen and ambient heat are the ultimate enemies of flavor. Over time, these elements cause aggressive lipid oxidation. The fat molecules fracture. The oil turns fundamentally stale, emitting a waxy, crayon-like odor rather than the vibrant, fresh notes required for better cooking.
True extra virgin olive oil represents far more than merely the absence of chemical flaws. It demands the active presence of specific, highly volatile, fruity flavors and aromas. This is a positive sensory mandate rigidly enforced by both the IOC and the USDA. Primadonna finds itself squarely on the same watchdog lists of brands to avoid, specifically for failing to meet these comprehensive EVOO standards. When an oil lacks these required complex fruity esters, it is chemically and culinarily flat. Sensory failure rates. A flat, lifeless oil cannot elevate a vinaigrette or finish a delicate piece of fish. It merely adds empty calories, entirely stripped of the rich phenolic compounds and aromatic benefits that inherently justify a premium price point. Even if the UC Davis report primarily pinpoints rancidity in its specific test batches, outright counterfeits, like adulterated seed oil blends, still heavily plague the global supply chain. Dan Flynn highlighted the sheer scale of the crisis facing buyers. He stated, "The United States is the third largest consumer of olive oil in the world. While there are many excellent imported and domestic olive oils available, our tests indicate that there are serious quality problems out there." United States. The classic seed-cut fake remains a serious quality problem defining the consumer market. Macro photography. Degraded olive textures. By strategically mixing a minor fraction of highly degraded olive oil with heavily refined, solvent-extracted soybean oil, counterfeiters engineer a product that perfectly mimics the golden green color. Yet it entirely lacks the crucial health benefits and the robust thermal stability of a genuinely superior extra virgin olive oil. Counterfeit supply chain. Consumers desperate to secure better quality, unfiltered extra virgin olive oil often turn to flawed kitchen chemistry. A widely circulated common home test for authenticity claims that genuine olive oil becomes distinctly cloudy and heavily thickens when refrigerated. The underlying theory relies heavily on thermodynamics. It posits that the high levels of monounsaturated fats present in true olive oil will naturally solidify at higher temperatures than the polyunsaturated fats heavily abundant in cheap seed oils. Believers of this myth place their expensive bottles in the cold, patiently waiting for a cloudy, gel-like structure to form as the ultimate undeniable proof of absolute purity. Conversely, this exact same flawed home test rigidly asserts that heavily diluted or entirely fake oils will remain perfectly liquid in the refrigerator, completely untouched by the cold, ignoring oils like winterized extra virgin olive oil. Winterized extra virgin. The science driving this test is dangerously oversimplified. Many genuine, perfectly crafted extra virgin olive oil are naturally winterized by producers, or simply possess varying natural wax contents depending entirely on the specific olive varietal harvested. These truly premium oils might stay perfectly liquid even when chilled for days. Cloudy versus liquid variables. We must unpack this complexity. Relying on the simplistic fridge test leads to uncritical acceptance of a deeply flawed methodology. It actively blinds you to the actual, scientifically valid indicators of culinary quality, causing you to reject potentially superior oils based on a complete misunderstanding of lipid behavior. To actively achieve a better culinary outcome, you must seek absolute transparency and rigorous, objective verification. California Olive Ranch is frequently cited by reviewers and culinary experts as a highly trusted alternative to the imported roulette. This specific operation deliberately removes the deep opacity of the traditional import supply chain. It is strictly verified as 100% California grown. Furthermore, it is mechanically cold-pressed and, crucially, heavily third-party certified. Third-party certification means independent laboratories routinely test the oil's precise chemical composition to confirm it legitimately passes the unforgiving IOC zero defect standard. Verification loop. This is the definition of superior culinary design in practice. When you purchase verified oil, you are paying for guaranteed chemical stability and a sensory excellence that actually transforms your food. Stop paying premium prices for rancid counterfeits. The ongoing pursuit of better food inherently demands far more rigorous standards from our producers and more critical evaluation from ourselves. Demand a visible, highly specific harvest date stamped clearly on the glass, ensuring the oil is fresh. Current year. Look specifically for robust third-party testing seals, completely ignoring meaningless, unregulated marketing terms like light or pure. True extra virgin olive oil is a complex, chemically volatile matrix of flavor that possesses the unique power to elevate the simplest dish into something extraordinary. Scientifically verify your ingredients and demand better.